pulled out the old button up, and you know that means serious business. So this is our first mobility session that we'll be putting up as a pre-recording. What you're going to need today, you'll need a mat to be able to do the first part of our routine, and then you're going to need a couch, a bench, an ottoman, something to be able to put your foot onto for couch stretches, a prayer stretch, and then that is all. And then afterwards you would also need access to a wall, which is generally in your house or your apartment, so that's easy. What you're going to do, so if you need to, just pause it and you can come back to it once you've got all of that ready. What we're going to do, we're going to do a movement section, so we're going to go through 3 movements just to get the body warmed up, then we're going to stretch, and we're going to go through 3 stretches for 60 seconds on each, and then we're going to do some controlled range of motion stuff. What you're going to start with, we're going to do 10 back rolls to a forward reach. So you're going to roll back, roll up, slide your hands between your feet. So when you're ready, 10 of these, making your back nice and round as you come down, and when you come up and your legs out into that V, trying to reach between your feet. So we'll do 10 of these. So our goal, which is tricky because we usually end up talking far too much, but our goal is to keep this under 15 minutes. So let's see how that goes. That worries me. How far? Yeah, minute 20 in. I've got 3 more. Good, 2 to go. Nice. Once you've done 10, you're going to start in a bear sit position. So what you're going to do here, we're going to support yourself with your hands behind you. And what I want you to do is sit up with an open chest. And from there, with my legs bent at roughly 90 degrees, I'm going to swivel my legs down to one side, and I'm going to limit how much my torso follows my legs. So I control it down to the ground, and then I'll switch sides. So we're going to just keep going until we get to 12, so 6 on each side. Take your time. Again, if you would like to make it harder, for whatever reason, you can lean forward. If you struggle rotating the hips, you can lean back when your hand's behind you a little bit more. But again, do focus on trying to limit how much your torso comes with you. So the focus is on rotation as your hip. Good, keep going, 3 more. Good, 2. And 1 more. And nice. The last one you're going to do is you're going to go from a kneeling into a half kneeling position with a reach across. And the reach is to help open up the tissues on that side. So what I'm going to do from kneeling, I'm going to step forward with 1 foot and end up in half kneeling, which is that position. And I'm going to push this back hip forward, squeeze my glutes, and reach my arm across me. And I come back. And then I'll step the same leg out in front of me, and I'm going to reach out at a slightly different angle. And then I'll step out again, and I'm going to reach up over my body. So we're going to do 8 step throughs where we end up in that position, essentially the bottom of a lunge. I'm squeezing my glutes, pushing my hips forward, and I'm trying to reach that arm long. So I get a little bit of rotation there. I'm stretching out the tissues at the top of that rear hip. And once we get to 8, we're going to switch over to the other side. I think that's probably 7. We'll go 1 more. Might be an extra one. And then we're going to switch sides. Step out the other side, reach across your body, come back. Squeeze the glutes, push that back hip forward, reach across your body. So there isn't any wrong place to reach. We generally try and get across the body to try and get a nice stretch through these tissues on this side. When we're squeezing your glutes, it's going to help put your pelvis in the right position to stretch out that hip flexor on that back side. And 1 more. Nice. We're going to set up. We need your couch or an ottoman. You might need a foam roller to help you balance. We're going to do a couch stretch. What we're looking for here is we're going to set up, so we're going to elevate our rear foot. So whichever foot we choose to put behind us, we could put it on a wall. We're going to have our knee close to our foot, and our other leg comes out in that position. And then, what I'm looking to do at the moment is I'm looking to extend myself up tall. So we're going to hold this for a minute. I've got an imaginary string on top of my head drawing me up, creating length. I'm tucking the pelvis, squeezing the glutes, and I'm trying to get a nice straight line in this knee, hip, and shoulder by pushing that back hip forward. So if we were there, we'd be pushing through that area there in the lower back, trying to drive that hip forward. And what you're looking for here is you might have a significant quad stretch, but as you start to tuck the pelvis, squeeze the glutes more and come into a position that's more upright, you're going to feel that stretch transfer up from the quad into the hip flexor area. So holding there, we've got another 20 seconds. Again, trying to open your chest and still pushing that back hip forward for the whole minute. In 10 seconds, we're going to come out of this one and we're going to switch sides. So we're just going to do one set on each stretch that we have today. Nice. So switching over. Setting up on the other side. Your knee positioning matters on that rear leg. The further away the knee is from where your foot is elevated, the easier it is for you to stretch. So if you'd like to intensify the stretch, you bring the knee back, and you can see that angle now between my foot and my butt. It's like if I was doing a standing quad stretch, I've pulled the foot up closer to my butt. So from here, I'm working on lengthening myself up. If I needed to, I could put my hand on my leg, I could put my hand on a roller to help press me up. If I was really struggling coming up in this position, or trying to drive that hip forward, I'd probably need to move the back knee away from the bench or the wall, whatever's behind me. So again, just trying to open up at the front of the hip at the moment. So 20 more seconds. Try and squeeze your glutes, and as you work into the stretch, remembering as you hold it for longer, you're going to be able to push deeper and deeper into it. So keep remembering that. Nice. 4 seconds. Alright, nice. We're going to do a prayer stretch. You're going to need your couch. Ottoman, something to put your elbows onto. What we're going to do here, we're trying to get a bit of a stretch through your lats. So, I'm going to set up in this position, and from here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a controlled breath out, and I'm going to bring my chest down towards the ground, and I'm letting my shoulder blades retract. From here, bringing my chest down towards the ground, I can push my hips back a little bit, which creates a little bit of length through my lats, and then I could stretch my arms out, hold them out in that position, and I could bring them back in if I wanted to. I could make it dynamic, going up and down, or if you feel like just holding that stretch through your lats, then stay down in that position with your chest down towards the ground. I'm going to keep transitioning between them, just trying to get the shoulder blades moving, because we haven't done anything dynamic through there yet. So I let my shoulder blades retract, I get that stretch through my lats, I stretch my arms out to create more length, I bring them back in, and then I protract, I push back up. So we're going to go 15 more seconds. Keep pushing your butt out behind you to create that sensation of length. Nice, almost there. Last one. Alright, tracking pretty well for time, 7:40. The last thing we're going to do is a frog stretch. Open up the groins a little bit. We're going to set up into that position. What I'd like you to do is get your knees out wide, and I'm going to gradually sit my hips back. If I've got capacity to come down to my elbows, I'll do that. If I need to stay up on my hands, I can stay up here. But I'm trying to sit my hips back and find a stretch through my groins. So typically we'd instruct for your ankles to be, or your heel to be behind your knee, but again, if you need to bring them in a little bit, that's fine. We don't want any knee pressure here. We are looking to stretch the groin. So I just keep sitting my hips back, rolling that bum out behind me. We're going to hold here just for another 30 seconds, and then we're going to take you through the controlled activities to finish off our mobility session. Give it 20 seconds, trying to sit your bum back a little bit further. So at this stage you should be starting to feel that your hips are opening up a little bit. If you were to do, say, a squat test before it and now, you'd probably find you're able to go into a deeper range. Alright, come out of that slowly. So if you were on your elbows up to your hands, we're going to go through 3 activities. We're going to do 1 set on each. This is all about controlling your range, right? So we've just done some stretching, we've worked into our stretches, but now we're going to actually move a little bit. The first thing you're going to do is start in a butterfly stretch. In a butterfly, I try and open the knees. I'm going to place my hand and lean out a little bit. I'm going to bring my foot up, sweep my leg behind me to 90-90. 90 degrees on the front leg, 90 degrees on the back leg, and I'm going to do a forward bend. I bend forward over my front leg, maintaining length through my spine. I sit up, I open the back leg, externally rotate, and I bring my leg back, and I end up in butterfly again. Then I'm going to do the other side. I lean out slightly, lift my leg up, reach it behind me, and end up in my 90-90 position. I do a forward bend, I come back, open the rear leg, lift up, and over. We're going to keep switching until we get to 10. So I've done 2. Nice. So now we just keep moving, but we move slowly and we try and control, and we take our hips through a big range of motion to try and loosen them up, probably after maybe a morning sitting at the kitchen table doing your work at the moment. Remember, changing your torso positioning or angle will change how the stretch feels as well. So if you need to lean out further, you can do that. It'll make it a little bit easier. Nice, this is my 6th one, so we're going to go 4 more. Still working on getting those knees down when you come back to butterfly. Length through your spine as you do that forward bend. Not slouching, you can slouch as soon as we finish, which is hopefully going to be 4 minutes. I think we might do it, I'm not sure. If I just naturally start racing through this, you know why. That is our 15-minute time limit. Nice. I've got the last one on this left leg. So again, lift, open, reach back to 90-90, forward bend, externally rotate your leg, come up, butterfly, and we should be able to open up a little bit more. We've got 2 more exercises. We're going to go to a tabletop position. We recommend doing this on your mat, probably with socks on. What you're going to do is I'm going to stretch one leg out. I'm just going to gradually draw that leg out, stretch it out, out. Keep pushing it until I get a groin stretch, and then I'm going to pull back in. I'm going to slide it out slowly. I've got my foot facing forward, so my toes aren't turning out too much, and I'll pull back in. We don't want to go too far where we end up getting stuck and I can't get my leg back in. I just want to have the ability to be able to draw my hips back up. We're going to do 6 on one side and then 6 on the other side. Again, remember, opening up to the inner thighs here. Last one. Nice. 6 on the other side. Sliding out. Probably best to stay up on your hands. You could do this on your elbows. It'd intensify the starting stretch. It might be a little bit harder to control, so it's up to you. Feel free to mix it up. Nice. I've got 2 left. And 1 more. Nice. Last thing you're going to need is a wall. Oh, 2 minutes. God, I feel like we're going to go over. This could be edited. That's the other option. We could go over time and edit it. What you're going to do is you're going to set up in this position. I'm going to go half kneeling. I've got my left hip pretty close to the wall. I've got my left foot out in front of me, right knee behind me. Both my arms come out in front of me. My left hand is on the wall. I've got clean hands so I don't dirty the wall. And I'm going to slowly sweep my arm around. I'm getting stuck there. It might be the 2 hours of cycling we did this morning, and then I'm going to sweep my arm behind me. Once I get it behind me and I get a little bit of a stretch here, open up the arm to the side, come back, and then reach your arm back through. We're going to do 5 of these slowly. So it's a slow arm circle, reaching around, trying to keep our body square to the front, reach our arm away, open chest, arm comes back, other arm comes back. I've got 3 more. Nice. 2 more. Nice. Again, trying to keep your torso as square to the front as you can. Awesome. Once I've done 5, I'm going to switch. Whoa, 45 seconds. I reckon sneak this in. Remember, this is to open up the shoulder, open up the chest. We get a nice little rotational stretch through that mid back and through both sides of the chest as we hold that arm behind us in extension. I'm regretting putting the button-up polo shirt on. It's getting a little warm. It's okay. Good, 12 seconds. Last one for me. Oh. And dramatic finish. I think it's Tour de France quality finish there. 4 seconds to go. Mobility session 1 done now. We did 1 set of the moving stuff. We'd recommend doing 2. I don't have time to squeeze it in. So if you want to do that again, do it again. Otherwise, we'll see you online soon. Peace out.